see you. Hello, hello, hello. Today, hello goddesses, and welcome back to another video. On today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the In Love with Coco collection from Wet and Wild, and I'm also going to show you guys how I achieved today's look. Before we get started, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can become a part of the Goddess family. Without further ado, let's hop into it. Alright. I'm going to be testing out one of the new collections from Wet and Wild. This collection is called In Love with Coco. I love that name. It's genius. Now everything is supposed to be neutral and cocoa inspired, which again, I love. I don't know if it's supposed to also smell like cocoa, like chocolate. Now, it doesn't smell like cocoa, even though it says that I'm in love with cocoa. So I was assuming it was going to kind of take the Too Faced route where it smells like whatever it says it is. You know how Too Faced will have like certain palettes, especially during the holidays, and it'll smell like gingerbread and all of that stuff. But this doesn't really have a scent to it. I'm going to do a quick close-up so you guys can see what the palette looks like close-up. Again, In Love with Coco collection with Wet and Wild. It is just stunning. It kind of reminds me of the KKW palette that she has. A lot of her palettes have a lot of neutrals, and this has just that. Another up-close encounter with the palette. Now, the palette names are just numbered. It looks like they're numbered 1 through 9, starting with the face shades, which would be right here, and it kind of just goes to the deepest, darkest shade. Before I do a little eye makeup look, I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick swatch for you guys. So this is shades 1 through 6. This is shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Definitely I'm liking a little bit of the darker shades just because the pigmentation shows up on my personal skin tone a little bit better. I'm really loving the shade number 5 and the shade number 6 the most so far. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the next 3 shades and just, I'm like, should I just take this bracelet off? The bracelet is coming off and we're gonna continue down the line. I go like all the way to my wrist, but this is shade 7, shade 8, and shade 9. Now, shade 9 may be a little too light for my brows. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought it looked a little darker in the pan. It almost looks black in the pan, and then when it pops up, it's a very dark brown, which actually might work for my brows, but I personally prefer black just because my hair is black now. Now, if my hair was still on the lighter side, that color, I could have totally got away with it. Shade number 5 is like giving me total fall vibes. I want to just put this like all over my lid and like buff it out with like one of the darker shades. So we'll see how I play with it, but this is what we are working with. The pigmentation is really not there for me for the first shade. It might be just like a good brow bone shade, but everything else I'm not completely mad at. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on our eyes and have some fun. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to try to do my brows with the shade number 9 just to see if with the hair, if it pops up darker, or on my face it pops up a little darker than my arm. I don't know, but we're gonna go ahead and try it out on my brow right now. Okay, actually, I'm a little surprised. It's showing up a little bit on the darker side. Now it does almost have, you could still see the hints of brown in it, which can be kind of cute depending on if you want to like have a lighter in the front and then like go in with a darker brow shade on the edges. Now it is going over darker brow hair, so this is probably why it's working out better than I expected. But would I be doing this again? If I needed to, yes. Preferably, probably not. I feel like it might look a little crazy in the sun. So the brows are on. Not the best look, but not the worst. It could be worse. It could be worse, guys. I think I'm gonna go in with a transition shade. I'm gonna go in with shade number 2, just to put right underneath my brow bone. Again, it's like a really cool transition shade. I feel like this color right here is pretty universal when it comes to transition shades for almost every skin tone type and texture. You just want to kind of smooth out the eyelid anyway, get rid of any veins that might be popping up, and just really even out the color of the eyelid whenever it comes to this transition shade. Just more or less a nice little base. I do definitely like it. It's cute. Like I mentioned, I'm really digging the shade number 5, and I think that I'm gonna put that all over my lid. And so we're just gonna go for it. It's definitely giving me fall vibes. It's also kind of giving me Megan Fox vibes from like the VMAs, which I know everybody loved that look. I just feel like neutrals is just such a timeless, beautiful eye look. I definitely think neutral eye makeup looks good on everybody, so it's definitely a universal type of thing, which I love. I mean, just look at how pretty that is. There's not a whole lot of fallout either, which I'm pretty shooked about. Like, I'm pretty pleasantly surprised about that. I think I'm gonna use shade number 7, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just kind of wing out the shade just to give my lid a darker transition. Plus, this like wine color is just, again, such a fall vibe. I love it. I think it's really breathtaking and beautiful, and it's one of like my favorite colors to wear. I'm really surprised at how much I actually really do like this palette. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that same shade and I'm just putting it underneath my eyes, right underneath, just to continue to transition that color. Now I am gonna go in with this really light shade, the shade number 1, and I'm just gonna put that like underneath my brow. I actually like this shade for that purpose. Okay, now I'm just gonna go in with a clean brush and just blend everything from the crease line, not where the glitter is, but from this crease line into the bridge of my nose, just to cohesively give me a little bit of deeper shadowing. Okay, so this is what it looks like with mascara and false lashes. I did put some eyeliner on just on the top waterline, just to give me a little bit more of a cat eye look. But I love this Wet n Wild. This is called Breakup Proof. This eyeliner is so good. It will literally last you all day. It will last you all day. It doesn't really smudge. It's really nice and it glides on really easily. Look at that. It is beautiful. It's only like $2 or $3 and it's definitely worth it. I've used a lot of really nice high-end eyeliners and I definitely like and prefer this one over a majority of those expensive luxury liners. So another Wet n Wild must-have. I also wanted to test out these highlighter slash bronzer palette that I got from the same collection, In Love with Cocoa. This is what it looks like on the inside. Again, we have the highlighter and the bronzer. The bronzer does look a little bit on the lighter side, so we'll see how that works out for me. When I try to swatch this right now, the bronzer looks almost identical to my skin tone. Okay, it actually does pop up as like a different shade. I don't know why I did it right there, but if you do it like right here, apparently it's supposed to make things look enlarged. Eventually though, when I blend it in enough, it does kind of like camouflage with my actual skin tone. Bronzer was a fail. I will probably end up using it as some type of eyeshadow instead of bronzer. So I will definitely still use this, but just not for what it was intended for. Now I am excited to try the highlighter because again, I love highlighters from Wet n Wild. So we're gonna go ahead and just like highlight. Whew. I didn't expect for it to be like that because it didn't look super blinding in the pan, but on camera and in person, it is next level, girl. It is like, whew, it is like out of control. I'm definitely gonna buff this out, don't worry. How crazy is this, right? Like blinding. We're just gonna blend this out and buff it in. Now, next time I use this, I'll use it with caution. I'll know how blinding it is, but first impressions, honey, I'm really here for this highlighter. I already knew I was gonna love the highlighter because I love their other highlighter. I'll show you exactly what that looks like on the screen right now. I love that highlighter, it's so good. but this also is really nice. Surprisingly, this one smells a little bit more like a cocoa scent than the actual eyeshadow palette. I really like that. I really like when my cosmetics smell like some type of fruit or something. I know that's really weird. I know not everybody likes that, but it's definitely my vibe. Here we go. I got the In Love with Cocoa lip liner and lip gloss combo. I am really excited about this because I love a neutral lip. I've actually been wearing red lips a lot more lately, but I love neutral lips because this is definitely good for everyday wear. Pretty much any occasion you can wear it out at night, but also have a really cool killer day look with a neutral lip. The packaging with this whole collection is super adorable. Again, it says it right here, In Love with Cocoa, Wet and Wild. And again, with the gloss. I'm gonna go ahead and just line up the lips. I am doing this through the camera, so if it looks a little crazy, I'm trying my best. I might like line a little bit inside just to give my lip a little bit more of this color. I'm just shading some of the parts in and leaving kind of the middle more of my actual lip color. And then I'm just gonna put the gloss over top right now. The gloss smells like chocolate. It actually smells like cocoa. So if you guys do like the cocoa smell, just know that this gloss does smell like it. And if you don't, also know that this gloss smells like that. So you can make the right purchase for you. I don't think I've ever really worn like a brown lip. I don't know how I feel about it. I know that when I tried all those lipsticks on for Vlogmas, I think one of them was brown and I had got some positive feedback on that, so that was one thing. But I never actually like ended up wearing it out and about in real life. So that brings us to the end of today's video and today's final look with the In Love with Cocoa collection from Wet and Wild. I actually loved everything from this collection that I had purchased. Go ahead and comment down below and let me know what product was your personal favorite. I love you guys so much. Until next time.